Hello everyone, welcome to the seminar of Attitude is Everything. In this particular seminar, we'll be covering it in three different videos. So in a very first video, we'll be having three different topics. So let me dive into the outlines first. Okay, so as you can see over the screens, the outlines of these presentations are divided in basically six different topics. So very first thing is what is attitude? The next will be covering why attitude is important in life. Third is about the benefits of the positive attitude. Fourth thing is about key things about the attitude we'll be covering. Fifth is our 10 steps on how to improve the attitude. And lastly, but not least, how to change yourself. Fair enough. So in the very first video, which is this particular video, I'll be covering first three topics. These three: what is attitude, why it is important, and benefits of the positive attitude. Okay. In the next video, I'll be covering key things about the attitude and the 10 steps on how to improve your attitude. Okay. And the last video, the third video, I'll be covering how to change yourself. So all these three videos are going to be very important for changing your personality with respect to the attitude. Okay, so let's just get into the very first slide of what is attitude. So just focus here. The this is the first thing is the definition about the attitude here. Many people think that attitude is being a proud, egoistic, and selfishness, which is not correct. Okay, so attitude is not about being a proud or being egoistic or selfish. Actually, when you say attitude, the term means that it is not the characteristics which are mentioned above, but attitude is the very gist of an individual's way of thinking, the way how he perceives the outside world, outside situations, outside people, right? That is his way of thinking, his way of perceiving, his individuals ideals, and then his concepts of right and wrong. Okay, and it is about all his or her aspirations towards the life. Okay, so in totality of all these things, it becomes a attitude. So attitude is being a good, that is a promoting good thoughts towards the positive sides. And when we say attitude is a negative or bad, that means that is a promoting the negative towards the negative side. Okay, so attitude is of a two basic types. You can say one is a positive or pleasant attitude, and the second is negative or harsh attitude. Fair enough. So in a nutshell, you can say attitude can be defined as the totality of the individual himself. So everything, it's like his way of thinking, as I said, is a way of perceiving the things, his ideals, his concepts of right and wrong, his her aspirations or goals in the lives. All these things in a total makes individual attitude. Okay, so main is, I would say, what his attitude is, his thinking, his views, his likes, his dislikes are all enveloped in the single word, that is attitude. So next point which is here is that attitude is a mental position which is related to a way of thinking or being something. Fair enough. So let's move on to the next slide, as this is a quite simple thing, but we have just put up in a correct words. Okay. So let's move on to the next slide. Why attitude is important? Okay. So any thoughts on this? Anybody? So yeah. So your attitude, not your aptitude, will determine your altitude. That is the first point. When I say altitude, that means the pinnacle of some, or at something where you are reaching at some height. So that's what altitude stands for. So here it is means that it is basically it is with respect to the success what you achieve in your life. Okay, so your attitude basically determines your success, the height of your success in your life, and not the aptitudes. When I say aptitude, it is nothing but your IQ levels, intellectual quotient level. Okay, so when somebody is having a very high IQ, it is possible that he may be very talented person, but he is not reaching to the success as he should have been in his life, just because his attitude is not correct. Okay, so the attitude is the one which determines 90% of time your success, because that is how you react to the situation, to the outside world in your day-to-day life, right? So next point is that attitude is a little thing that makes a big difference. So as I said, in every day, how you are reacting to the things, how you are perceiving, how you are approaching to the outside situations, outside world, outside people, basically that becomes a big difference, that makes a big difference. Yeah, you will agree on that, right? You yourself must have experienced that at many of the times in your many point of time in your life, right? So let's move on to the next point. It governs the way you perceive the world and the way the world perceives you. So it is a two-way, how you are perceiving the world, outside world, that is how you are perceiving the situations outside people, your friends, your colleagues, your team members, your manager, your customers, and all different sort of people you are dealing with in the life, basically in your family, friends, all together. Everything, how you are perceiving them and how they perceive you, that's what governs the things for your success, right? Then the next point is that nothing can stop the man with the right mental attitude from achieving his goal. At the same time, nothing on the earth can help the man with the wrong mental attitude. So if you are having the right attitude, right approach towards the life, towards your career, towards the problems which you are coming up in your life, if you are having the right mental attitude, then no matter whatever be the problem, you will be able to overcome that and you will be able to achieve your goal. If you go with a in a decisive manner, with a right spirit and a right attitude, okay. At the same time, if you are having a wrong approach and wrong mental attitude, then nothing on the earth will help you, right? I mean, see, it's not like I mean, basically how you are putting up your efforts, that's what matters. So if you are going with a wrong mental attitude, then obviously you will end up with negative things and negative results, right? So let's move on to the next point. The positive thinker sees the invisible. He feels the intangible and achieves the impossible. So this is a very good statement actually. When a person with a positivity or positive spirit goes around, then he can see the things which others cannot even think of, which others wouldn't have envisioned, that he will be able to vision it out and he will be able to see that thing, because his attitude is a courage. So he will find out what positive thing lies in a situation, no matter how harsh may be the situation, he will always try to find out something positive in it and he will move on with that, okay. And he will move on with that spirit. He will learn, from his mistakes and he will overcome that, okay. He will go ahead with the positive spirit. He will not just stop because he has a fail in something. He won't stop at that point in time. He will see, he will learn from his he will learn the lessons and he will quickly move on with that and he will keep moving forward in his life. Then he will feel the intangible, the others who will not be able to sense those things, that he will be able to sense it out because of his positive nature and his positivity which he has cultivated, okay. And then he will achieve the impossible. For the negative thinkers, the word impossible means it is impossible, but positive thinkers breaks down that word impossible and says I am possible. So he sees the things in a different manner. Even the word impossible, he sees it as I am possible. So that is the where the attitude matters, okay. So let's move on to the next slide now. Why attitude is important. So there are some more areas we will be covering here. So next point is that your choice of attitude can decide the outcome of your life. So this is a very generous statement, you can say, but this is actually a very true fact. I mean, see, what happens is that every day we are making a small or larger decisions in our life. Okay, so our attitude determines what choices we make in our life. So the stimulus will keep happening in the outside world, and no matter, you cannot avoid that. It will always keep happening, but the response to that stimulus is in your hand. Between every stimulus and a response, there is a gap where lies the freedom to choose the response. So it that response is in your head, and if you choose it positively, no matter whatever may be the problem or whatever may be the situation, you will be able to overcome that and you will be uh, able to achieve the outcome which you have set for that particular day. So when you will start achieving your daily outcomes, then you will start achieving the weekly outcomes, then you will start achieving the monthly outcomes, in yearly outcomes, and then throughout the life, whatever you wanted to achieve in your life, that also you will be able to shape it up. So that's what it says. Your choice of attitude can decide the whole outcome of your life. Okay. Negative thoughts have no powers unless you empower them. So in this particular statement, what he's trying to say is that when you are coming up with a negative thought, what happens is that you, even if the problem is a very small, it's just a very minor problem, but you will keep thinking on it, as if it is a big problem. You will keep repeatedly thinking on it again and again, again and again, and then that problem enlarges. It starts zooming up and up and up, and then you will see it. Like these problems are very big, even though it is a very small problem, but still you will start thinking that it's a very big problem, and your negative thoughts will have no power, basically, because you will start feeling degraded with your energy, and you will not be able to overcome that. So first thing is that you should not allow the negative thoughts, to you should stop it, because you cannot stop it completely, but you should, with a conscious manner, you should be able to say a stop. You should have a show stopper for those negative thoughts to overcome completely your mind. Okay, so that is what you should be aware of. Next point is that if you think you can, you are right. If you think you can't, you are right again. It is all a matter of attitude. So there goes the saying, like whatever you think, that's what you achieve in your life. If you think you can do this, you can do that. If you think you cannot, then again you are right. I mean, and you will end up not doing that. Okay. So whatever you think, that's what you are eventually going to get it. Okay. So it's just a matter of attitude. The next point is that positive attitude helps to cope more easily with the daily affairs of life. It brings the optimism into your life and makes it easier to avoid the worry and negative thinking. It is a mental attitude that expects the positive results. So let me explain this point. So positive attitude helps to cope more easily with the daily affairs of life. Why? Because what happens that when you are approaching a certain things with a positive manner, your problem becomes of the same size. You won't perceive it as a large size problem. You will just see the problem as it is. Okay, you won't see it in a zoomed up manner. So if the problem is a small, you will consider it as a small one. You will be able to easily overcome that. And when you are approaching with the positivity, you will start getting a lot of cooperations from the people surrounding you. Maybe if you are working into some organization, then maybe your colleagues, from your team members, your manager, or from your customers, they will also will start supporting to your positive initiatives, right? So that makes the daily affairs easy in your life. Then second thing is that it brings the optimism into your life. So you will be like more optimistic in your life, and you will be able to make it easier to avoid the worry and negative thinking, because you are dedicated. You are, consciously you have chosen to be a positive. So obviously your worries and negative thinking automatically goes away, because if the light comes, then darkness automatically goes away. It's like same concept. When you fill up the vacuum with a positive attitude, obviously the worries and negative thinking won't have any space in your mind. It will automatically go away. So you have to consciously choose, bringing the positivity in your mind. That's what is all about. It's a mental attitude that expects the positive results. So when you are going with the positive mental attitude, you start expecting the positive results, so your energy will be focused in achieving that. And it's a law of attraction. Basically, whatever you are trying to achieve, that you eventually end up achieving, because it's just a law of attractions. Whatever you are thinking, that you starts coming to your ways. Okay. So if you think positively, a lot of positive results will come your way, believe me. Okay. Last point is that a positive attitude is like a magnet for the positive results. So that is the same thing which I was mentioning here. When you are approaching something with a positive energy, you will start getting a cooperation. Like say, when you start speaking about your vision to the in front of like 50 or 100 people, then someone or other, will start joining your vision, and they will, if they will be able to contribute, they will say, okay, I have so and so things which can help you in fulfilling your vision. So you will start attracting those people, and those ideas and everything will start coming into your way when you approach the things in a positive manner and with a positive vision. Okay, so let's move on to the next slide now. Here we'll be talking about the benefits of a positive attitude. So there are a lot of benefits of the positive attitude, which you must be aware of. But I will just cover a few of the things. So first is helps achieving goals and attaining the success. So all will agree on that. The positive attitude helps in achieving the goals in a very quick manner basically, because there are less hindrances, less obstacles, and even if the obstacle is there, you'll be able to overcome that easily. You will be able to achieve your goal easily with a positive approach, with a positive mentality, with a positive energy, and with a positive spirit. So the next point is that success achieved is a faster and a more easily. Why it is a faster? Because now you are going ahead with a lot of a positive energy. Okay, when you are having a positive thinking, what happens is that your negative thoughts and everything goes away, and so your problems reduces to a large extent. And whatever you perceive or whatever you think, you will start gaining it automatically. Okay, the third thing is that more happiness. Why it is a more happiness? Because you achieve a more positive results, so that makes you happy. And not only you get happy, but your family, your friends, your colleagues, your customers, your managers, and your team members, everybody will be happy. Because if you are happy, then that gets spreaded, the happiness always gets spreaded. More energy, because you are approaching certain things with a positive manner. What happens is that your energy degradation happens to a less extent. You don't lose your energy, because if you are approaching something with a negatively, if you will say no, that I won't be able to do these things, kind of a things, and you will say that, then what happens is that the other person, if he expects that from you, then there will be some quarrel between his expectation and what you want to do. So there will be some fights, and there will be like some bias. Those will start degrading your energy, and it will start degrading your performance eventually. But when someone like approaches with a positive attitude, he takes the things in a positive manner. Whatever is comes along his way, he tries to find out the positive things in it, that he is learning few things by doing certain tasks, even if he is not interested. But if he will find eventually, that okay, these are the things which I will learn. Okay, even if I have to do the extra or additional things, and that way he keeps going ahead with the positivity, and then he ends up learning more things, and ends up being a more valuable to his colleagues or his team members. In their absence, he takes up the more responsibilities, and he feels more energy all about. So next thing is a greater inner power and a strength. As you start accomplishing more things in your life, what happens is that your confidence level gets boosted up, no doubt about it. And then your self-esteem eventually gets boosted. You start feeling a lot of inner power and strength. Yeah, so the next point is greater inner power and strength. Yeah, this we already discussed, that how you feel more inner power and strength. The next one is the ability to inspire and motivate yourself and the others. So what happens is that when you are approaching certain things with a positively, you feel inspired, for doing a certain things. You yourself feel motivated, and when you are inspired and you yourself feel motivated, it is very easy for you to motivate and inspire the others. So what happens is that they will also start, when you are doing a certain thing, when you're taking initiative and doing certain good things, the others surrounding to you, they will also start getting inspired and motivated. So that's how it is about. Fewer difficulties encounter along the way. Why the fewer difficulties encountered along the way is because you are approaching certain things in a positive manner. So what happens is that the problems size reduces a lot. You start getting a lot of cooperation from the others surrounding to you, and with their cooperation also, the difficulties you will be able to overcome very easily. If the problems are there, then towards the those problems, you are approaching in a positive manner. So what happens is that you will be able to solve it more quickly. Your approach will be solution oriented and not the problem oriented. When your approach becomes a solution oriented, you start finding the ways or a workarounds to resolve the problem. Okay, so that's how you will be able to clear your you'll be able to clear your difficulties very quickly. The other 3 points is that like the ability to surmount any difficulty, which we already discussed, why we are able to surmount any difficulty easily. The life smiles at you. So when you are achieving a lot of success in your life, obviously you will be satisfied with your accomplishments and whatever you achieved in your life. So with that success stories, you will be able to share it with the others in a very proud manner, and then you will feel, like quite satisfied with your overall life. So basically life smiles at you. You are happy with whatever you accomplish in your life, right? Whatever you contributed in your life. Then the last thing is that people respect you. Why people respected you? Because when you are going ahead with a positive attitude, you will start helping a lot of people who are coming on your way, okay? And even when you are rising from a lower position to higher positions, and if you have contributed meaningfully to a lot of people in a positive manner, then even when you are dropping in your career, at the time those people will also support you and respect you, right? So these are the key benefits of a positive attitude. Let's move on to the next slide now. This will be discussing in the next video, okay?